Why is Anheuser-Busch committing suicide? Why did Hollywood commit suicide? Why is the left doing this? Why are they like kamikazes?
Let's get to Mario here really quickly. Are you a Mario fan? Would you play it?
Yes, I was not a huge video game guy, but from about the age of 8 to about 12 or 13, I was a huge video guy, and that was the game that I, would dominate and win it over and over again, and literally spent sometimes 5-6 hours eating Hot Pockets, and honey buns, and drinking gallons of Coca-Cola.
So that must have been before you were anti-Monsanto.
That was before I was anti-Monsanto. No, but I mean seriously,
there's not a chemical that exists in nature in that diet,
right,
Alex.
Exactly. Well, I was also taking mushrooms while I was doing it.
Oh, really? Wow.
At 8?
No, yes. I'm joking.
In the arcade.
No, it's a joke. It's a joke. I don't think I ever took mushrooms while playing Mario Brothers, but I have taken mushrooms.
Yeah, you just do it when live broadcasting.
Well, once.
Once, you said, right? Once.
I've done it with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was thinking about. Yes. Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Mike Tyson goes, "Come to my house. We'll do the Toad tomorrow.
Yes.
You'll love it. It'll crush you."
You got a prior engagement, Mike?
Yeah. I don't know.
I was a little intimidated by that.
Oh, I can imagine.
Mike Tyson's actually an intimidating person. He's not that tall, but you tell it's just solid muscle. Yeah. He gets out of this murdered out black Rolls Royce. He's like, "Had to take my mushrooms with me." I got Toad at home.
That sounds like I've had literal nightmares that start that way.
Oh, boy.
So here's something good news, though. Mario Brothers just set a global opening weekend record for animated films.
Nice.
$377 million on a $100 million budget. Nice. And let's, I think, we have a clip, actually, from the film.
I got this. No problem. Yes! Come on, Mario! Our big adventure begins now! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off!
All right. Do we have the Leguizamo clip? We have both of them?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'll run the other one first. So here's the thing. This is a good example of there's a disconnect between the critics and between the average viewer, right? We have Pixar and Disney. Remember Lightyear?
Yeah.
That took in...
Terrible one.
I believe it was $200 to make. Did it take in... How much did it take in globally?
$200 million, yeah.
200, what did I say?
You said $200, which would have been...
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Bring up Overlay B, CNBC. $200 million to make. And how much did it make? Its domestic opening...
$85.6 million.
That was its global opening?
Global opening weekend.
Global opening.
Global opening?
Yeah, not so good.
And Mario did $377 million?
Some would say that's more.
Oh, my gosh.
Everybody knows it's going to be endless lecturing. That's why Top Gun did so well.
Yeah.
And they're not even right-wing. They're just leave people alone and let them have a fantasy. That's why I can't watch anything on Netflix now. It's all brainwashing. Everybody knows that, but that's my same question. Why is Anheuser-Busch committing suicide? Why did Hollywood commit suicide? Why is the left doing this? Why are they like kamikazes?
Well, it's because of the ESG, right, score, and because of the, what's the other name, a component of the ESG, the index, where it's basically about BlackRock, Vanguard, right? They're looking at these stocks, and they're basically trying to manipulate people into fitting their agenda. And it's not about the consumer. It's about artificially manipulating the market so they can create the world. And this, I'm sounding like you.
No,
they can artificially recreate the world in their own vision.
So exactly, the banks have weaponized the media like a kamikaze is going to be destroyed, but it's a weapon. So they don't mind destroying the NBA, the NFL, all these things, because it's to get the agenda in. Because once the central bank digital currencies are in, and once they have those ESG systems in where everything is tied to your behavior, it's mark of the beast, total control, it's game over.
Yeah, and they don't need to do anything with soccer because it's already there. So the Mario Brothers movie, though, by the way, this is a good example. It's not even necessarily anti-woke. It just shuns the idea of trying to be woke. So obviously the voice actor, Chris Pratt, who's a known Christian, I believe he's more conservative, he said, this is the soundtrack to your youth. You don't want someone to come along and cynically destroy it. I fully understand that. You do not want that to happen. And by the way, critics did not like the movie. You can look at the contrast. Critics had 56%, whereas the audience had 96%. Let's read a quote here from a critic. Said, "It's a fan service above all else, regressively so." This is Eric Marchand. "Structuring a threadbare story around iconography linked to source material just isn't enough." It's a video game. And by the way, it's not even a video game with a real story when you go back to it, okay?
It wasn't a series of books written about Mario and Luigi, I don't think.
I mean, can you have 2 hours of, sorry, Mario, the princess is in another castle. Oh, shit. What are you going to do? Like, it's just...
in fact, that's more the reason they're starting to develop a story on a clean slate. It makes it very interesting. In fact, I'm going to go take my daughter to it. I'm she's 6. I'm going to check it out because everybody knows that Pratt is not even really a conservative, but he's not a communist. So people also go because they know that, and it shows what people are hungry for.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think really, you know what, you guys share the Rumble show, by the way, out there. Yeah. Hit the share button or the Rumble button, whatever it is. I don't know. But I'd love to hear from you. Comment below if I think conservatives out there, you're not necessarily looking for just hard right or right-wing content, conservative content. You just want to know that you're not being sucker punched when you go into a studio. Like, when I do stand-up, I'll have openers who are not necessarily conservative. They're just not anti-conservative. Yeah. And they say, this is the best audience just because I know that I'm not going to offend people all the time. They say,
well, it's actual comedy. It's not a vehicle to beat people over the head.
Yep. Right, exactly. I have people who are, I wouldn't say liberals, but sometimes people open who are just kind of down the middle, and they're like, this audience is great. It's fun. I don't have to walk on eggshells. Yeah. They just want to know that you're not going to go out and go, aren't Christian conservatives stupid, right? There was a comedy witch hunt when George W. Bush was president.
But by the way, people know there's a backlash. Joe Rogan's new club, The Mothership in Austin, sells out like $600 a ticket every night. And I've been there a few times, and the whole thing is basically anti-establishment. So the worm has turned. And sure, I was there earlier, you were there earlier, before everybody else kind of got on board. But I think that's a sign, a canary in the coal mine for the left that, hey, your studios are collapsing, your brands are collapsing, your force feeding isn't working, you need to give it up.
Well, and actually, speaking of that, and trying to force feed and committing his own career suicide, really kind of this was a self-inflicted wound from John Leguizamo. He was complaining about the casting not being diverse enough and went through a whole woke tirade. We have a clip of John Leguizamo.
Of Guerrero. Well, that'll stop it right there.
I think we actually have...
I think that's the wrong one.
It's easy to confuse. Right clip.
Are you going to be watching Super Mario Brothers?
No, I will not be watching Super
Oh, my goodness.
So they could have included a Latin character. Like, I was groundbreaking, then they stopped the groundbreaking.
I know.
Yeah, I was groundbreaking.
They messed up the inclusion. They
messed up the inclusion. I'm going to include a lot of Latinos in the pest, too.
Asshole. Oh my God. Technically, Latin comes from the Romantic language of the Romans, and so Mario Brother is a Latin character.
Yeah, if you want to get technical about it, but I'm hoping that they're going to do a menu number 3 where they'll cover me in mushroom sauce, burn me alive.
How the hell does he think he was groundbreaking?
I was groundbreaking and making the shittiest films of all time.
Facts. He's Betty Blanco from the Bronx.
Yes. I remember as a child watching. The Pest was the movie that made me realize I could because when you're a kid, you like every movie. And I saw The Pest with John Leguizamo, and I said, this is so bad, I'd rather be doing anything else. And then, or it was before or after, I don't know the sequence, same with the Mario film that he did. I'm going, what? It's like, wait, King Koopa has a blonde, what's going on? And they're not even blonde. What is happening? It was so bad. So and the worst part is the lack of self-awareness. He thinks people are like, yeah, Leguizamo, it should be more like your Mario film.
Nope.
So let me give you a few fast facts here. Again, not diverse enough. Okay, first off, like you were saying, Italian, the Romance languages, but Italians like Mario and Luigi, if he's talking about, aren't actually Latino in the way that he would mean it. So I don't know why you would cast them that way, but Princess Peach also was not only white, she makes Larry Bird look ethnic, and she was voiced by an actress who's Argentinian. Another fact, Bowser, I don't know if this is a dragon in a turtle shell, and this movie is based off of an 8-bit video game. And another key fact, which interested me and shows you how out of touch John Leguizamo is with the average Latin American, CNN pointed out some startling statistics regarding viewership of this film.
Also a racial element here. Look at this. What share is Hispanic? 41% of Mario filmgoers were Hispanic versus just 8% of the U.S. media. So the fact is the U.S. media is not representative of the people who are actually going out to see these films, and that's why I think we're seeing this very large split.
By the way, 39% of them were just using the film as a babysitter. But look, progress.
Fair.
Exactly.
I had that when I went to a movie, and it was a rated R film.
Whoa.
And like they have. You'll see a lot of Latin Americans. They'll have kids running through. I'm like, really? At the Ring too? It's a hateful 8.
Yeah. Kids will sleep well tonight.
Mama, I want a more Whopper and Gobstopper and Silencia.
Or do you end up like number 7?
Where am I? Hey, we're watching Hannibal, okay? So, actually, here to discuss this and more, we have Super Mario in studio. Wow. Thank you for being here. I guess MAGA Mario is that how you identify now?
Hi, Stephen. Yes. I don't understand the controversy.
Okay. Well, John Leguizamo said that your film is not diverse enough. Do you care to comment on that?
I'm from Italia.
Yeah.
It was made in America. It's diverse.
Yeah, okay. I guess that kind of makes sense. You know, it's kind of a global in a positive sense. It settles it for me. Alex, do you have anything?
No, I just think that you're a hero to children everywhere, especially for the people that are into psychedelics and the mushrooms.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It's the mushrooms.
What kind of mushrooms?
What kind of mushrooms?
Yeah.
What kind of? Do we know what kind of mushrooms that he's on?
What is wrong with this man?
I don't necessarily know that either.
What's wrong with you, Mario?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's just.
You know what happens if you take those? I was just joking. You see interdimensional elves, demons. Where do you think the big monster that you're battling came from? It was you taking it. You're living in a hallucination. You've had a psychotic break.
This man needs help.
Yeah, okay, all right. That's it.
No, you need help, Mario.
Okay, let's just. This is
You damn drug pusher.
Get
the hell out of here.
Okay, all right. Well, you know what? We've learned our. We've learned our lesson.
Did you just cuss at Mario?
Yeah.
He's a drug pusher.
He is.
He's a left-wing pervert. Look, if that ain't a pedo mustache, there ain't one.
Okay.
That guy driving around a white van in your neighborhood?
What do you think the mushroom stands for, Steven?
Yeah.
Where does it occur in the human body?
Give him the mushrooms.
The lovely Mario. Always be polite. That's the only rule.
Put your hands in the back of my van, man. Take those mushrooms, my children.
I didn't think it was weird that he had a paneled van. I thought Mario could, why don't he just transport himself?
And he was like trying to give kids candy out in the parking lot?
Yeah, well, I don't necessarily. I think that was just role playing. I don't necessarily know what's going on there.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.